Yes, for
So
sure.
let's dive into these questions, Whitney. So I suppose firstly, let's start off with a little bit of an intro and tell people a little bit about who you are, what you like to do, and your own hobbies, let's say.
Okay. So yeah, my name is Whitney. I'm currently a college basketball coach here in the United States. I love to work out. I think fitness is a huge hobby of me, but outside of like the health side of things, I'd say for my own mind, I'd be journaling or reading. Staying active is a big part of my life. I think you can sense that when you are a coach, you have to
Yeah,
be active, right? I don't think you can be
of
a coach and
course.
not be active. So, I'm always on the go, anything, whether it's yoga, Pilates, lifting, running. I kind of took something towards the end of last year of running a half marathon, and that was kind of something I would never in a million years thought I'd be doing ever. But
Yeah,
did that, loved it, and now I find myself wanting to, run more. I don't think I'm at a full marathon right now, but I think the half is just kind of it's a nice taste. But
yeah.
um, yeah, it's kind of like a quick version of who I am, I should say.
No, that's cool. That's cool. It's just to give a bit of an insight your background and I suppose what you're into, Whitney. And you are obviously a very active individual. Being a
Yeah.
coach, as you say, it's part and parcel of it. You have to kind of lead by example. And you've
Mhm.
been clearly doing that, especially since you've joined the program. You've just taken it up another level. But tell us a little bit
I
about the
think
problems you faced and what you tried before joining the program.
No, I think, okay, so before being a coach, I played college basketball. And I think you always had that accountability being a collegiate athlete of
Mm,
you get the opportunity to work out. You have to show up to workouts or you're not going to be on the team in a way. I know it sounds harsh, but you have that accountability piece with your coaches and your teammates. So I
yeah,
think for me, I think the problem kind of started to stem like after I graduated. Going from, ball is life in a way, you play college basketball, you grow up with the game when you were younger, and then as soon as it's over, you're like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do like fitness wise? Like what can I do to,
mm,
immerse myself in and get into things? And so that was kind of, I'd say after graduation, that's kind of where it started. I was relying on my fast metabolism and like, oh, like I'm fit, like I'll be okay. And then I was like, oh, yeah, you've definitely got to get in the gym, you definitely got to start putting in that work individually. You
yeah,
don't have that team accountability anymore. So it's more of a one woman show type of deal. So I think that would be when it started in regards to wanting to continue to be active. And
yes,
I think more so finding or looking forward to something. I looked forward to going to practice when I played. I looked forward to,
mm,
workouts or games. And then when you're done with all that, it's definitely it's a hard adjustment. And I feel like everyone goes through that. It's just, I mean, it's tough. No
yeah.
one no one tells you as an athlete that that's where you're gonna, struggle with. So that was kind
Yeah.
of where the problem started. Yeah.
What made you want to become a coach?
I think you just like when you love the game, you're just so passionate about it. I think I've been fortunate, I grew up in Dublin and I got the opportunity to come to the States to play college basketball. And I just love the coaches that gave me that opportunity and just the things they instilled in me, whether it's on the floor, off the floor. And I think once I graduated, I was like, I don't think I'm ready to give up like
Mm,
the game as a whole. I mean, you definitely have opportunities and aspirations to play at the next level, but
yeah,
um, I feel like you get that opportunity to coach. And with coaching, it's not just, oh, I'm a basketball coach, but you get to meet young women's and you get to motivate them and you get to, see what they can do through the game of basketball. And that's what
mm,
I've been grateful for. If you were to tell me, oh, 10 years ago, oh, you're going to be a basketball coach or this is what's going to happen, I'd be like, I don't think so. Because I was so
yeah,
set on I want to be a school counselor. I was so set on I want to, still maybe go in the like high school level or middle school level and, coach basketball, but still be a school counselor. But then once I
yeah.
graduated, actually, I think I want to go through the path of like maybe being a college coach. So yeah, that's kind of how that
Interesting.
kind of happened. I know definitely a different route to go through things, going from psychology to like basketball coach, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I suppose there's still a bit of psychology involved, right? Because
Oh,
you're,
100%, a hundred
yeah,
percent. It's all mental, I feel like some days.
definitely,
But
definitely. Most sports is like, I believe, nearly 90% mental.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the problems you faced before joining the program, Whitney. What have you tried before joining Progressive Fitness?
Oh my gosh. I mean, from everything from challenges to intermittent fasting to quick fixes, whether it's, oh, I'm gonna only eat for like a certain period of
Mm.
time, or I'm gonna work out. And I feel like, for a certain point, those work, but I think the longevity wise, it didn't work. You didn't sustain it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I was really educated enough to go through the whole like it's not just like getting in the gym and lifting weights, like there's more to it. It's the nutrition,
Mm.
and like your water intake or like movement. I was so fixated on, okay, like I'm just gonna go to the gym, have a great leg day, I'm gonna eat healthy, and that's going to be my like my good meal. And then I catch myself like snacking popcorn and chocolate, and it just like,
Yeah.
it just wasn't fulfilling, or not even that, but just really sustainable
Mm.
long for me. So I think I'd be so good with something for a week or a week and a half, and I'm like, oh, I see changes, and I'm like, oh, I feel good, I'm great, and then like I can
Yes.
relax. And then come into this program, like, no, you cannot relax. You take 2 weeks off and it's not good with your accountability. It's not great. So I
Yes.
think always just quick fixes is what I would say that I've tried before this.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. And look, a lot of people that come to me, they've tried all the quick fixes as well before, but
Yeah.
the aim is obviously to show you that there is a better way of doing things, a more sustainable, enjoyable way that'll get results, most importantly, right? But
Yeah.
what were you struggling with in particular? Would you say you mentioned there the nutrition side of things, finding something that was sustainable, but was there anything in particular you felt like, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here, or I felt a bit, lost, or what I needed to figure this out? What was the main thing you felt you struggled with?
Um, it would definitely be the whole, I mean, as I said, you go from being a college athlete where a workout was made for you and you didn't understand like, hey, you can't train legs back to back to back to back. You've
Yeah.
got to, I think for me, it was just the, I never was anxious stepping into the gym, but it was more so it was just always like stepping into the gym with a plan, and not just a
Mm.
plan for that day, but a plan that would set me up for the week, or for the month. Um
Yes.
that would be something that you wouldn't think about until you were like, oh my goodness, like I can be working my glutes for 10 years, like upper body
Yeah.
is not, it's not going to get to where you need it to get. And so that
Yeah.
was something I just was just, well, I was just oblivious to that aspect of
Mm.
things.
Totally, totally. Yeah, and that's it. Like so many people, if they don't have that structure around their training, they can just kind of be going through the motions for so long, and then they
Yeah.
end up like getting frustrated with the lack of results and saying, oh, it's not really working, when really they just don't have the right process in place yet. Whereas now
Yeah.
you do, and you can clearly see the difference with the development you had, even with your lower body, your upper body, everywhere just came on so, so much when we had the right kind of training and structure around it. But how long were you trying to solve these problems for, Whitney? How long were you trying to figure all this out yourself?
So I graduated college in 2019. So you do the math. It's 20, it's 25. So it's been a long time for sure. And I
Okay.
think, I think it's funny because again, it's the quick fix. It's like, okay, I may have a structure, but then it's like, oh, I'll do a hit workout, and then it just goes out the window.
Yeah.
But since then, and coming to, your planning your program, like it's just been I've just felt like it's just a difference in the before and now moment for me. Like
Mm.
my perspective on a lot of stuff. I don't know. It's hard to explain until you go through it. You can't like
Yes.
it's almost like I'm speechless, but it's like I look forward to like lifting, or I look forward to, oh, what's this next workout, and whether before you
Yeah.
just well, I dread it.
Yeah.
Um yeah. It's like
I
I
get
had
you.
the toolbox, but then you gave me the tools for the toolbox.
Mm,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And it gives you that fire back, like you said, to go and enjoy training again. And, there's nothing better than seeing results, because then you want more, you keep driving for more results, right? So, no, I'm really happy to hear that. Now, with that said, what kind of impact was it having on you the past, you said since 2019, you've been trying to figure this out. Was it leading to you feeling frustrated, disappointed, annoyed? What were the feelings, or the impact that it was having over the last couple of years before you joined the program?
I think it was just definitely like a roller coaster of emotions, you know. You go from, in essence, constantly working out and feeling so good and confident in your like, you know, physique and, you know, your abilities, then to not being confident as much anymore,
Yeah,
to kind of being timid or just not putting yourself out there. And I think that comes with not playing as much anymore, or playing the game that you loved. So it's, I think for
mm,
me, it was just the confidence piece of things. I think kind of like
yes,
branching out and looking for something that I can immerse myself in to, you know, make me feel confident with like with whether it's strength training or et cetera, stuff like that. So I think the
yeah,
confidence piece was a main problem. I think
yes,
also nutrition too as well. That was
yeah,
kind of to just would restrict myself to things that I shouldn't restrict myself to. Like
yeah,
um I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so guilty for eating a chocolate bar, a pint of ice cream, you know, it's just it's silly. But
yeah.
yeah,
So tell us then a little bit about what life is like now. What's the difference right now?
I feel like my energy and just I don't know, it sounds so silly. And I know there's never any judgment because I feel like we've definitely established a relationship throughout this program
Yeah,
and it's just this aura. Like I look forward to showing up in the gym. Like I look forward to, you know, meal prepping or going about my week and just kind of I don't know. I just look forward to like showing up for myself. You know, I feel like for the longest time and it's something that will never ever disappear for me. I will show up for anybody and anyone if they ever need me, but I just always struggled like showing up for myself. There was this
yeah,
balance. I've just used so much energy on others that it's like when it was just to go on a 10-minute walk for myself was just like, oh, that's too much. I'll get to it tomorrow. But
yeah,
now I have this balance where it's I can show for people and I can also show up for myself. And even if I can't show for someone to an extent, I don't neglect like what I need to do to, you know, set myself up for success later down the line. So that's been kind of something that I've noticed and just my relationship with people, like
mm,
coworkers, friends, and family. It's just I don't know, I'm just really good, just good spirits, I should say. It's been fun. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and
Okay.
like that's such an important thing to do is, people find this hard to, especially I feel women and females in particular, they tend to put everyone else before themselves. Like you said, you'll help everyone else. But when you serve yourself first, you actually can serve everyone else even better, right? So it's like
Yeah.
the analogy I always use is, you have a jug of water with your energy, but if you fill up everyone
Yes.
else's glass first, you've
Uh,
nothing left for yourself. But if you fill up your own one, then it overflows into everyone else's, because
Yeah.
there'll be more than enough to still go around. So, um,
And I love that. I love that. Because you're right. I mean, if my glass is full, then it's like I can pour into other people around me. And
exactly.
yeah, you hit the nail on that. For the longest time, my cup was empty. It was like
Yeah.
nothing in there. Um, but now it's kind of nice to see the transition with the past few months.
And what sort of impact has that had in your life, would you say?
Oh gosh, I think I just like confidence, you know, like I'm not timid or shy going to the gym and being like, oh, I don't know if I should not be on this, you know, squat rack. I should give it to someone
Yeah.
else that probably needs it or knows what they're doing. But the program is definitely like just giving me a better perspective and outlook on just your health and wellness. Um, I think I was naive to come, you know, seeking your help and your expertise and like, oh, like I want to get to this point by the time we're done this program, and this is the weight I want to be at. But you're just like listening, you're nodding, like, yeah, yeah, that's all gonna happen. But in the back of your head, you're like, oh my God, the mental game that you're gonna have, like your like your energy, like all of that is just gonna be like like, you know, it's just gonna be out of this world.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I didn't realize that was a possibility. I get kind of choked up, but just it's even just with nutrition stuff. Like I look forward to it and I'm like excited to like, oh, how can I kind of find out like a new like
Yeah.
plan? I'm now like not restricting my eating habits. I'm more like in tune to what I need to put in my body. You know, it's not of
Yes.
like, oh, I need a chocolate, it's like I get to have this like chocolate bar. Like this is my treat, I don't need it, but
Yes.
like I get to have it. Um, but I think, yeah, yeah, I'm like, yeah, speechless, honestly. It's a good
No,
question.
that's amazing to hear, and like you said, the confidence aspect that's completely changed now from where you were when you first came on board. The understanding of nutrition principles that you can still go and enjoy your chocolate bar, not feel guilty about it. It's such a big deal for people because simply they don't understand these principles and they just spend time feeling guilty when they don't need to, and then stress is high. And you eliminate all these feelings when you understand these principles. And you've clearly done the work throughout the program, and it's been paying off, right? So, um, would you say it's been worth the effort and time you've invested?
Oh my God, 100%. And I also don't think you go through the program like, oh, yep, I'm done. I'm good. I don't need like, like that's not it. I think this program is a guideline and like a way for you to get to that point of feeling good about yourself or like you getting
Yeah,
to you're not doing the program to get to your end goal. And I feel like when I started, I was doing this program to get to that end goal. But
yeah,
instead, I've actually, again, it's like I had the toolbox and you've just dumped all these tools in my toolbox and you've paved a way for me to continue to show up for myself.
yeah,
And that's the exciting part because I mean, it takes what they say 30 days to build a habit.
yeah,
And throughout the program, you're going to fall short. You're going to want to, like throw in the towel, but it's like
yeah.
one day doesn't determine the next few weeks for you, it's that continuously like showing up for yourself,
Mm,
wanting to be better than you were the day before. And
yeah,
that's been awesome to actually be like, I'm okay. Like, okay, yeah, I ran 2 miles yesterday or I PR'd in my like squad. And
yeah,
next week I've hit that PR, but it's like I know I got there and I can continue to get there, So it's just the
absolutely.
journey in this program has been really good for me. Like,
Yes, yes, yes. And I
yeah,
definitely feel we've stretched your vision now. You can see like, yeah, this isn't just like 6 months where I'm going to get in shape and then I go back into my old habits. I have the tools, as you said, now necessary to set new goals and, reach new levels and just keep pushing forward with this all the time because that's the thing about fitness. It's never ending, right? We always have to try and keep on top of it. And it does make a difference, as I say, when you do have the tools in your toolbox to be able to, sustain it going forward. But just something I suppose that popped into my mind there, Whitney, was initially in the first few weeks of the program, you were like still a little bit doubtful and apprehensive, but remember we spoke about that this is like a journey and like there will be times like you said
yeah,
you feel like throwing in the towel, you're like wondering is this working? When did you come to that bit of realization that like, yeah, this is like paying off, this is working, or what was the kind of turning point or the moment for you that gave you that kind of mindset shift?
I think that's actually a really good question. Wow. Um, I think for me, it was so my problem was always because I would seek for quick fixes. And I would always just want something like just immediate. But I think this, like your program taught me like delayed gratification, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to be completely honest. Yeah, you're right. You held me accountable. I did want to throw in the towel, but with the stuff that you post about other people and their journey that they've done through your program, that was like a light bulb in my head to be like, Whitney, like, why are you like hesitant or why are you ready to just be like, I'm done, like it's over when you see X, Y, and Z, they've been
Yeah,
through the program and they've been successful through the program, like just your time is coming, like, just be the passenger in the back seat and just let him drive the car and trust the plan that he has for you. So truth,
exactly.
yeah, it was just the other people that have gone through your program that have seen success and they've not thrown the towel. They've continued to, seek your help and your expertise and your guidance. That honestly was like, okay, keep going. And I won't
That's
forget
it.
there was one morning that you obviously the time difference helps and it was like 5:30 or whatever and I had to work out and I knew I had to do that day on that morning. And I remember opening Instagram and it was this lady, and I'm gonna black on her name. I'll share the post that you shared. And I was like, holy
Mm.
cow, like look at her progress. And you want to lay in bed for like 20 more minutes? Like, I was like, get up, Whitney,
Yeah,
go.
That's
So
it.
yeah, so it's the stuff that you post, it's the education piece that you share with the people that follow you and follow the stuff that your content or your plan and all that.
Yeah,
It's exciting. And even the group that we like, of that
yeah,
are in the program, like everyone's interactions in it. Like if that doesn't motivate you, then
that's
I
it.
don't know. It's the mindset. I think, yeah. So I think
Yeah,
yes, it was stuff.
that's
It's
great to
hard.
see. You had that shift in perspective because it's a point where people can go the other way and they can give up on themselves. Obviously, that's my job to get you
Yeah.
accountable again. And I'm really glad to see that you were able to do that and you took inspiration from other people. And that's the way to do it. We should take inspiration from everyone and everything around us. If we look at things negatively, we're going to get negative outcomes. But if we can take inspiration and positivity from other people's journeys and experiences, we can channel that good energy into our lives and use
Yeah.
it to make ourselves better. So
Yeah.
no, that was amazing. That was a great explanation as well, by the way. So, thank you for that. Now,
Yeah,
what
no, you shouldn't be. I should be thanking you. So thank you for yeah, for now,
no,
for listening to everything.
no, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. So, let's dig into some key principles, right? Around think of these as key principles that you implemented that made such a big difference for you. Okay, you can think of these as hacks or things that worked well for you. Okay, so we'll go through nutrition, mindset, lifestyle, and training. So let's start off with nutrition. Can you share with us three key principles or hacks that worked really well for you throughout your journey?
Okay, so nutrition wise, I think when I started off, it was more of okay, I needed to hit like the macros. And then I think later on you do that, but it's it's more of a it's more of a like, okay, I know what I need to put in my body now. So I think hacks for me were like meal prepping as well. I mean, we talk about that,
Yeah,
but whether it's making sure if it's overnight oats, I had something to go that morning, or I had food later on in the evening. And if I had a morning workout, I would literally have my like pre-workout snack like in the corner of my fridge, ready to grab, ready to go out the door. And then it's like when I got back home, I would and it sounds so silly. I make sure I had like my protein shake on the countertop, right for me to make immediately so I wouldn't forget. Because sometimes
yeah,
I I struggle with the whole protein intake. Like it's hard to get a lot of protein. And when you find ways to I
yeah,
say hold yourself accountable, but make sure you're prioritizing it. So I would always, whether it was like I would get home and I'd have like my protein shake right on the countertop. So I see it, and it's the first thing I did. So I had it right away. So it's like just kind of, I say kind of, it was like kind of like my sticky notes with stuff like that. So
yeah,
that would be like a meal hacks that I did. I know it's like it's not helpful, but for me, it worked for me. I mean,
for sure.
um,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Meal
Night
prepping is
before.
it can help so much. People that don't do it, they're kind of leaving things to chance, especially if you're a really busy individual that you don't have the time to, cook every meal. You don't work from home, let's say, you know, you have to eat on the go sometimes. Like prepping your meals is going to allow you to hit your macros more effectively and stay within your targets. So it is a very useful hack and it's quite a common one we hear. So the pre-workouts, like you
I
said,
think,
having it ready to go, post-workout,
yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, and I think you just saying that even for work and in the office, I would have like healthy snacks in there. Like
Yeah,
so I knew it was in there. And I'm like, okay, well, shouldn't have the urge to, if I don't go, I didn't meal prep, that you don't have the urge to just go get takeout or, go get like a sandwich or something, which sandwiches
yeah,
are healthy, but you know what I mean? It's like I always had something, whether it was like a yogurt or, the rice cakes and something or cottage cheese. I
mm,
always had that in the office. So that was always kind of like helpful. Like don't run off track in a way.
brilliant. Solid hacks there. So healthy snacks again. So when you're on the go, as you said, in the office, you're having things there that are allowing you to hit the macros that we set, right? We always say the two most important things to focus on is your calories and your protein. If we can hit those
Mhm.
numbers, we're going to be in a pretty good position. It's always good to be flexible then with your carbs and fats if you want. I always
Yeah.
say a bit higher carbs on a training day and then a little bit lower on the rest that you can work with. But let's move on now to the mindset side of things. Can you share three hacks or three key principles that helped you develop a strong mindset?
Journaling, I think.
Yeah,
I'm big on, I mean, before the plan, I love to journal, but the consistency of, um, there's this, it's called like it's like the five, and I'm blanking on it. It's this journal I have, and it's a morning and nighttime one. And
Yeah,
I'll share it, but we always talked about, okay, your water intake is really important, and your steps is really important, but also having that, like, a grateful heart. I think that was something
absolutely.
that helped me. So when I would wake up and really try not to go on my phone right away, would be, okay, what are three things I'm thankful for this morning? What are three things I need to do this today? And then kind of like a words of affirmation piece for myself. I am going to,
Yes,
hey, steps. So that was something that was a really good hack for me in the mornings, and then also at nighttime to also kind of, you know, um, perspective on what happened throughout the
mm,
day. For me,
definitely.
honestly, because I look back on it to the point where, a few months ago, maybe my journal entries weren't, all happy go lucky, to now I'm like
Mm,
just everything just like it's just having like a snowball effect. Everything feels like it's just consistent like emotions. So I was
absolutely.
it was a really important hack. That was something that I really tapped into a lot.
Absolutely, 100%. And it's like one of those things, it's like a low-hanging fruit, right? That if you do
Mm,
it, it can make such a difference to your mindset. It's such an easy thing to do that it's also easy to skip, and that's the problem, you know. But like you said, you got into a habit of doing it morning and night. You were setting your intentions for the day. You were doing these
yeah.
gratitude practices, and practicing gratitude is one of the most
Mm,
powerful things that you can do. People often overlook this stuff and say, "Oh, it's woo woo, it doesn't work. That's weird. You journal, whatever. It is not weird. It's one of the most powerful things you can do. I do it myself. I've got into the practice, and I'm going to just share it with you here now as well. Of some things I do every evening, right, as part of my journaling. I don't, not every evening, but as many evenings as I remember to do it.
yeah,
I reflect on the clients that I work with each day, and I write, the positives that, I love working with Whitney, and I was able to help her with this today, and I'd love to work with
yeah,
more people like Whitney. I write down five things I'm grateful for, five things that I'm grateful that are going to be coming into my life in the future. And I write out
mhm,
exactly, what I want from the business and from my personal life in the coming months ahead, right? And I write a little plan then of what I want to do to achieve it the next day. So that's a little idea of what I practice. But like you said there, the affirmations, you ask yourself better questions with your journaling, you get better answers, right? It's a thing
yeah.
that's such a powerful thing to do. And I'm really glad you shared this one because so many people, they overlook this part of it, but it can really just, this is what I believe probably changed your whole perspective on it.
The words of affirmation you feed yourself are so important. I think it just not just for yourself, but in anyone. Like if I was to say negative things about you, you'd feel some type of way, right? But if I'm like, oh my
Yes.
God, you could conquer the world, like, you can do X, Y, and Z, you're gonna be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I can. So again, when I mention how, it's so easy for me to pour into other people that I struggle in regards to pouring into myself, I also mean that from treat myself with kindness more.
Yes.
'Cause so it's the saying, treat people how you want to be treated. And it's like
Absolutely.
I think I treat them really well, but sometimes I forget to give myself grace
Mm.
in certain stuff. So you're right. I mean, words of affirmation was something that was that throughout the
Yes.
plan that was important to me. And
I
you also
love that one.
reminded me, you're like, Whitney, it's okay. Like, like next week will be a better week.
Mm.
So even with my half marathon, I was like, dude, I don't think I can run this. You're like, what do you tell me? You're like, it's so different. The environment on race day is so different. You're going to be so surprised. And honestly, yeah, I literally kicked butt. So thank
Yeah,
you. You
that's
know,
it. That's it. That's it.
that
Sometimes
was,
you need to you know, have someone there to give you that bit of reassurance to build that
right.
self-belief because it's always there within us. The self-belief is there, but sometimes you need a little push in the right direction to reignite it again. So yeah, no, that's really, really powerful share. I love that one. Now let's move on to the lifestyle side of things. If you can share with us a few hacks or key principles that work well to improve the lifestyle.
Um, and improve my lifestyle.
This
Oh,
could be like, what you did when it came to eating out or socializing or going for like drinks or, how you factored in holidays or weekends away or, on the road, you work on the road a lot. What hacks work well for you for those kind of things?
well, socializing is kind of hard, being in season. I feel like right now we're in like, bulk of basketball season, which is
Yeah.
exciting stuff. Hack wise, with the whole like whether it's like a sweet treat or an ice cream. So we do the
Mm.
same on our team when we win, we get road win ice cream. And so in my mind, I'm like, we're gonna win every game. Like it's not even a doubt, it's a non-negotiable. So I would always tell myself, you've got to eat healthy because you got ice cream coming later. So
Yeah.
that's silly, not necessarily a hack, but it's just something um that I
You feel
always
like you
kind of
earned it. Yeah, you earned the
yeah,
ice cream.
like yes. But I think I mean, I don't think I really had hacks for my lifestyle. I don't know.
When you
Yeah.
were on the
No.
road, like, did you make smarter choices? Was there things that you did to, you know, make sure your nutrition was still on
Oh,
point to some extent?
no, yes, that's actually really good because I always did this. So when we're on the road for workouts and like, or not workouts, but games, and we'd obviously have to eat out a lot. It was always
Mm.
nice having the menu before. And whenever, sounds so silly, whenever I would decide on what I'd want to eat on road trips, I'd make sure I did it after workout because my mind is telling me, oh, I want something
Yes.
healthy. I just had a workout. So let me pick something off the menu and it would be really a good healthy option. But then even when I didn't work out, it'd still be relatively
Yeah.
towards wise. But I think just always making sure, okay, beforehand, this is what I'm gonna put in my body. I already knew like protein was there, like healthy fats, carbs, all that was in there.
Yeah.
So be like knowing the menu beforehand and not just being like, oh my gosh, let me just get a burger and French fries. It'd be like, okay, opt for the chicken, the veggies, and the rice.
Yes.
So that was good, just having that in advance.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
you're planning ahead, right? Which is
Yeah.
a very smart thing to do whenever you are eating out. We covered this in a recent open office. I got people to share with me their favorite restaurants they like to eat out in, and
Yes.
yeah,
Menu.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we went through the menus and stuff like that. So again, it's just if you look ahead and plan ahead, you can kind of go, all right, what's the smart option to choose here? And you can still enjoy your meals out without, messing up your calories for the day or anything like that. But let's move on to training now, right? So any key principles or hacks you have for us with regards to your training?
Like I feel like everyone does this. The night before, if I know I have to have a morning workout, I have to lay my clothes out because if I lay my clothes out, that means I'm going to
Yes.
show up. I'm going to do it. And that kind of set me up. So whether it's like, oh, lay my clothes out, my shoes out, keys are where they needs to be, I'm out the door, going to the gym. That was a really good hack that I did the night before. Just kind of
Yeah.
getting um and sometimes I wouldn't even I remember early on I'd look to see what was going on what was the workout the day before, the night before. And not gonna lie, that would be the worst thing you can possibly do to yourself, especially if you're not a fan of certain aspects of things. But for me, as the journey kind of, continued, I actually was like, oh my God, it's leg day tomorrow. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I'm gonna,
Yes.
and dominate. I'm gonna make sure I do well on this. So kind of like walking into the gym was a plan was really good, whether it's, look at the workout
Yeah.
before and like, hey, this is where I'm gonna go, this is what I'm gonna do, and not I'm going to the gym and I'm gonna supposed to be here for an hour or whatever it is, but I'm in here for 5 hours and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I
Yes.
think always
Yeah.
just being prepared was always good for me. But a huge hack was like making sure my clothes were there, the day before. And if I was
Mm,
to get a workout in after work, I would have like my gym bag packed in the car already. So
absolutely.
that I wouldn't have to drive home to then drive to the gym. It'd be like, hey, from work, you're going straight to the gym. You have no excuse to not go to the gym.
Mm,
Um, but
yes.
that was something that I really
I
tapped
like,
into.
yeah, I really like that one because, if you do go home first, there's a chance that you sit down on the couch, you start watching TV, and then you're like, I'll go in an
Mm,
hour, and then you never end up going, right? Whereas you're like you said, you're preparing, you're getting ready, the bag is packed, you know that after work you're straight to the gym. knowing it's a non-negotiable, it has to happen. And then you feel brilliant after. Then you can chill out for the evening, you know. I think it's a great way of approaching your training.
I think also, when you work out in the morning, you set yourself up really well. And so you want to like continue to do other stuff to, whether
Mm.
it's hit your step goal. But I've like with work, another hack that I would do is if I knew I had to, and it's not just because I had to work out after work, we have a track upstairs. I would make sure I would at
Yeah,
least walk for like 10, 15 minutes just to get movement if I had, behind the desk hours constantly.
yes,
So I think just, I don't know, I think it helped me. It's like, oh, if I've got to do something from 9 to 10, okay, I'm gonna ham it out from like I'm gonna go hard from like 9 to 9:50, and then that last 10 minutes, I'm just gonna move or
yes.
stretch or something. So that was something that was really important for me.
For sure, for sure. Movement is medicine, right? It's medicine for the body. So yeah, getting in any bit we can, you know, even on the days that, you know, you might be stretched for time and you struggle to get the workout in, just getting out for a walk, getting fresh air, you know yourself what it's like to de-stress from work even when you do that. Um it does wonders not just for the body but for the mind as well, right? So really like those principles, you know, preparation is key, in looking forward to the workouts, the enjoyment factor that's there. And yeah, like you said, if you go for your morning workouts as well, it just sets you up for the rest of the day, right? So let's move on to the final few questions. So Whitney, I know your time here is getting a bit stretched, so we won't keep it too much longer. Um, tell us
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what life would be like if you stopped, I suppose, after, you know, 90 days. Do you feel like you would have had all the tools, or did you feel like the time we had together, 6 months, was the right amount for you?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I'd be excited or have the energy that I do, or it's just I do feel like if I had stopped and just again thrown in the towel when I was
Mm,
just wanting something that was a quick fix, I would still be running into the same issues. I still
mm,
would be struggling in that fitness aspect. But I can say, sticking with it and staying the course of the program. I'm super thankful just because of just the mental aspect of things as well. I think the
absolutely.
excitement and just wanting to, you're a coach, I'm a coach, but it's like you show up for yourself and I know you do. But it's like almost hypocritical being a coach and not showing up for myself in that aspect
Mm,
of things. You're in the I guess the sports background of things. So
yeah.
I think if I had stopped, I wouldn't feel like satisfied or have that fulfillment that I do right now. And I'm not saying that because, oh, like everything's great right now. Like I like this program, it's the end, it's over with and I'm like good and done. But it's like, no, like it was just like I'm going to continue utilizing the tools that you've given me throughout those months that
Mm,
with you. And it's not just going to be for myself, but also supporting other people too with it. So,
absolutely.
but I don't think I'd be in a position to just feel really like, I don't know, it's you feel confident. And when your jeans start
Mm,
fitting differently, you feel even more confident.
for sure.
Um, yeah, that confidence piece I don't think
Mm,
like, would be there right now.
where it's at, yeah, the levels that you've reached, obviously,
Yeah.
which is great to see. You know, it's just a testament to the work that you put in. Now, what advice would you give to someone who was in the same place as you before you started?
I would I would be like, just go for it. Whatever that you're feeling, or, oh, like if you're like, I don't know, like hot and cold about it. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. And
Mm,
I mean, mm, the results that people are wanting, like it's there. Like what you post are real people that have been through the program, continue to be successful and to continue to find success in, the plan that you and the structure that you build for them.
yeah.
Um, so it's like if you're hesitant, just try it. And I think when you try it and you're like, okay, like I'm gonna go for it, then you're gonna realize that, oh, I'm gonna stick it through. I think if
Yeah.
you're hesitant about that's what's gonna hinder you. I mean, it's either you want to show up for yourself or you don't want to show up for yourself. I
Mm,
mean, I
absolutely.
feel like if you're wanting to show up for yourself and you want to, create these healthy habits and, to feel and not to say you don't feel good, but just to feel better maybe, or just enhance the things that you know, then you should do the program.
Yeah,
I feel like I was hesitant for a while until I finally was like, yes, I need the help. I need your expertise. I need the guidance. And it takes a lot for me to say that because I am a coach, you know, but it's like
yeah.
even a coach needs a coach, you know?
Coach need
So yeah,
coaches too. I have a coach as well, you know.
yeah,
So coaches need coaches
yeah.
too, for sure, for sure.
So I
But
go for it.
what does the future look like for you, Whitney? What's on the horizon?
You know, it's silly because not silly, and like I've now I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want to do more into fitness. Like I'm like now into finding all these like yoga groups or running clubs and Pilates and stuff. And
Mm,
it's silly because I wouldn't think I'd ever be the person to just like throw myself into those. But um right now I'm just enjoying the journey of creating, of continuing to create the healthy habits that I have. I think you'd be silly to think of, oh, my program and my plan's done with. So I'm like, peace out, see you later. But truth is,
yeah.
you probably can't get rid of me that quickly, you know? So it's just, yeah, even though you're like, I'm ready to know, but it's just been nice to know that, um, the problem that I was having before is I look back on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so silly. Like you were just so like, you were just looking in all the wrong places, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something I'm not gonna miss. So I think
Mm,
a lot of fitness, a lot of goals in regards to like my health and wellness is something that I'm really looking at, you know, check off the list.
amazing,
Um,
amazing. You know, a lot can change in 6 months, right?
oh my gosh, a lot can change in 6 months.
Mm,
Not
mm,
just like your physical like appearance, but just everything else.
mm,
I think when you take care of yourself, that like have a snowball effect into other aspects of your life. And
100%.
other people notice it, you know, it's not just you notice
Yes,
it, like other, not just your physical being, but just, you know,
your
your
energy,
aura,
right?
your energy. And
Mm,
that to me has been the best compliment that I could probably
amazing.
have.
Super,
Yeah.
super. I'm really glad to hear that. So, Whitney, is there anything you want to close by saying?
Um, yeah, thank you. I think it's not easy. I don't think it's easy being a coach, but I just have really, really appreciated your guidance and your constant accountability and just as much it was something like, oh, the delayed gratification, but I honestly like you have definitely helped me. Gosh, just definitely helped me with my fitness and like my mental, like, and just everything you pour into like your clients. Like you really are a coach that really wants the best for everyone that you work with. And I don't think it's we, you know, praise that enough. We should praise it enough, but you really do want someone to start off at one and be a 10 out of 10, you know, and whether they come to you
Absolutely.
five, like they're going to be a 10, you know, and that's something that I've appreciated because it's something that I needed. I needed that accountability piece. And you stuck to your word and you know, you really were honest with me. You didn't
Yeah,
just, you know, tell me what I wanted to hear. You told me like, hey, you need to pick it up a little bit, you know, and
yeah,
that's something that I valued. And yeah, it's just you've been a really good sounding board in regards to the
amazing.
highs and lows of this journey. So thank you so
No,
much.
thank you, Whitney. I appreciate all the kind words there, and look, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you. You're exactly the kind of clients that I love to work with. You know, you're an action taker, an implementer. You're not afraid to ask questions and reach out whenever you feel stuck, which is so important because that's what helps you learn more. And yeah, I've no doubt about it. You know, we've definitely set you up for even more success moving forward in the future. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.